I got a special treat for you here today. We have a rear drive motor assembly out of a Solterra. This is out of a 23, so a first generation rear motor assembly pre-revision. This one is destined for the garbage can, so we're going to take it apart and see all of the inner workings and see how it works. Don't really know how it comes apart. The service manual doesn't really tell you a whole lot about how to pull it apart, but up here I know we have an inverter in the case here, so we're going to pull that out first. And then the rest of it should basically just be a differential, a gearish, and then a big motor, which I think is primarily back here. I think this is the stator area. So yeah, let's take it apart and we'll just see what there is to see. And we're diving in here at the first stop. Got the inverter cover off. I also pulled the little connector bridge out. See those go right there. They have a little locking tab in the bottom. They don't come up very nicely. I kind of broke this one. Oops. Just put it back. There we go. It's fine. See? And then also found here, I'm not sure what this is exactly. I'm going to have to go look up all of this stuff in the service manual, but there's some sort of wiring in there that doesn't want to come out. So we'll figure that out in a second. Pulled the cooler assembly off here. See right here. It's got a pair of O-rings on there. Like that. So gear oil will kind of meander its way through, and then coolant goes through the outer loop there. There's also a couple of coolant fittings that go here. See, guys, kind of lock in like that, and it's kind of like just a little adapter, I guess. I believe this is just like a little rubber coupling right there, which I think I'm just going to be able to pull out, I hope. And then after that, we should be able to lift the inverter out. You can see here where the high amperage wiring comes through. It looks like it goes down to there, so I'll have to figure out how to take that apart. Yeah. All right, and here we are with the inverter assembly out. We've got it removed here. I'm going to sit in here just to play with. I wasn't sure if you had to take the circuit board itself off of the inverter. It doesn't look like it wants to, so I'm not going to push it too much. But here's all of the big boy wiring on the bottom. You can see all of its phase controls here for the motor. And where that's going down to, so these are your DC inputs. It's your high voltage off the battery. And these are your three-phase outputs that go to your to the motor or to the stator. So we're going to take that off here in a second and see what there is. And then I think that this side is the next case. This part that needs to come off. There's a VIN plate on these from the factory. It's riveted in here. I'm going to remove that just so you guys don't have to look at it. Anyway, I think that's going to be the next step here. So let's pop that off. All right, we got it tipped up on its side right now. This is the passenger side we have up right now. This is the drain bolt for the gear oil if you're going to do a fluid service. The fill plug is on the other side. It's a gigantic, looks like that. But anyway, I'm running into my first little challenge here. We got all of the bolts out on both sides of the case halves, but it doesn't want to budge. So we're gonna go try some bigger tools to see if I can get it to let go. There, we've got the passenger side cap off now, so we can take a look at some stuff. Here we've got looks like the differential here, I presume. It's gigantic compared to every other Subaru one. Here's a roller bearing. Now this one did get replaced for a bearing noise, and I assume it's going to be one of these differential taper bearings. Looking at the opposite side, there is definitely some discoloration on the race. Not like horrible, but interesting. There's also this shaft. I guess you'd call it a pinion shaft. Looks like it goes down into the motor, I think. And that has a little taper bearing on it as well. And that one's even more discolored. Pretty crazy there. And this one's a race right here. A very dark color. The rest of the stuff we have in here, this looks like I believe it's an electric pump, a fluid pump. We have this pipe, comes up and around, and that goes out to the cooler port. So I suspect that's what that is, an electric pump here. The little connector for a motor, a little 12 volt motor with a position sensor maybe on it or something. So we'll probably pull that out too and just see, but I think that's what that one is. And then up in here, we're going to pull off some of these diverter plates that kind of keep fluid in specific spots. This one here too. And then I don't really know, I mean, I'm already beyond where the service manual tells you how to take apart, but let's see if we can pull this out. Hopefully it just lifts straight out like a differential. So that's a shim on it. Some sort of roller bearing on that too. I'm not even entirely sure what that one is. Got a big roller bearing down there. Anyway, we'll keep taking stuff apart and just see what happens. All right, we got some stuff out of it. That was pretty fun. So we got the differential out. It's sitting right here. This looks like it's like a cross shaft, whatever. It's gonna feed the other axle output there. We also had a gear reduction little stack, I believe is what this is for. That one sits in there like that. And let's see, we got big gear going to little gear. Like that. And then this one, I think, is the motor output. So we have the motor in there. So that's going to turn this. It's going to turn this. Yeah, little one turns big one. Little one turns big one. So a bunch of gear reduction in there to slow down the electric motor rotation down to wheel speed. But anyway, that's all of that apart. Same deal here. We got a bunch of bearings. Some taper bearings here. They don't look great. This is that bottom one. Looks pretty similar to the upper one. And then the opposing side. This is the side we looked at already. This is the opposing side. It's the driver's side output, I think. I'm all disoriented now, sorry. Oh, I also pulled out of the cover. That was an oil pump. You can see it's a little baby pump gear here. There you go. You pull the ring out. Looks pretty clean still. Doesn't look like it shot like metal debris or shrapnel through it anyway. That's how that sits in there. So when this spins, it draws in fluid here where it's a low compression, and then as it spins, it compresses it, pushes it out. If you look at the cover here, push it out. I think it must just kind of loop back through and then go to this pipe to go up to the cooler, I assume. Anyway, that's how that works. So now, I don't really know what comes apart next. We're probably going to take this plate off. I can see there's some stuff underneath it. We might be able to get some pipes. Otherwise, I think we'll probably have to flip the case over and take the opposite side out. I see a whole lot in there, just some kind of empty space. Some yellow down there, I'm not sure what that is. All right, it was quite a struggle, but now we have the other side cap off. Let's see here. This side, I believe this is called the resolver, like a position sensor, so to speak. I think that's what we're looking at there. It looks like it's adjustable. Well, that must have to be tuned or something. I'm not sure how that works. Kind of interesting. We also got this will be the motor here, the big stator pack. So I already pulled the electrical connector bolts out. So in theory, this part should pull out. Maybe. It's held in with these are T50s, which thankfully I do have. So you call those head bolts, I guess. Pop those out. And now this is going to be like a four-hand job, but you should be able to, in theory, pull the whole motor out. All right, that took a lot of doing, but here we are. So we've got the case pretty much entirely stripped down now. We've got the stator and rotor sitting here. I got to figure out how to separate these. They are magnetically stuck together. Yeah, this is the spinny bit, and this is the part that doesn't move that we flow current through to make the electromagnet. Got a giant nut on the backside of this, which is pretty cool. I don't know what the torque spec is on that. But anyway, yeah, here it is pretty much as disassembled as it's going to be. Unfortunately, didn't find a compelling answer to which bearing was bad. This one doesn't feel too bad. This is, so is that the one that this sits in? I believe it is right here. And y'all found a few of these that were like questionable, but not obviously bad. Unfortunately, I can't really see into these roller bearings. They're fully caged.